Welcome back, PGF fans, grappling fans, wrestling fans, jiu-jitsu fans. We have an amazing next installment of our Gym Owners series where, we've had this touchstone with the Colorado Wolverines that our plan is that we want to elevate Colorado athletes, Colorado gyms, and Colorado businesses. We obviously with our franchise players last season, Caleb Crump and Jonathan Wilson, Officer Grimy, had a chance to elevate, some of our athletes. We had a ton of Colorado businesses get behind us, including, Connor Hune, 10th Planet Denver, and his wife Rachel, and their Skin Shield Pro, 5280 Peptides, Scott Carroll, of course, BJJ Wholesale, Eric Lehman, and Simple Leaf CBD just get behind us like crazy. That really made the season happen. But now our next step, before we have our qualifiers, we'll talk about the qualifiers. Oh, we have qualifiers coming, multiple qualifiers. But for that, right now we're gonna get the third leg of that tripod of that stool. We're gonna be talking to the grappling coaches, the owners that make jiu-jitsu in Colorado possible. And right now we have with us Boris Null from Grapple House Jiu-Jitsu, somebody who I've heard has just a phenomenal culture, a wonderful open mat, a welcoming place, and I guess not having been there myself yet, it just seems like the epitome of what you want to look for in jiu-jitsu in a gym. And so welcome, Boris.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, me and my wife Justina are the owners of the Grapple House in Littleton, and we've been open about 2 years now. So it's a great time.
So you're what there's a little bit of a thing about native Coloradans. Mm-hmm. You grew up in Colorado, is that correct?
Yep.
All right, so you own the moniker of native.
Yes.
The word on the street is that you did a little bit of wrestling growing up.
Yeah, I wrestled at Heritage High School in Littleton, and I was okay. By the end, I was winning more than I was losing, but I wasn't anything special. But it came to me at a time in my life where it was really important to me. It was really good for me in my development and stuff. Made a lot of friendships. I have people now that I still train with at the gym that I wrestled with in high school. Did a little coaching over at Columbine. So just in the wrestling community, and just loved grappling. But didn't really know exactly what, didn't have jiu-jitsu yet on my mind after college, kind of floated around for a while. And then jiu-jitsu also kind of came along at a perfect time for me where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and needed something to kind of give me an anchor in my life. So, yeah.
That's a fairly common theme. I think we hear across jiu-jitsu. A lot of former wrestlers that kind of trying to scratch that itch, and then they find jiu-jitsu, which is just hey, let's be honest. I mean, I'm pretty sure I got a few years on you. Jiu-jitsu is a little more forgiving than a pure wrestling situation. What was your transition to jiu-jitsu like? Where did you train?
So I started at Catharo Jiu-Jitsu. It's in South Littleton, about 12 years ago now. And it was good. Definitely used my wrestling more at the beginning. And like I remember the first tournament I did, I was winning, but I was winning like 2-0, just taking people down, staying on top. But the feeling of your forearms being totally pumped out, lungs burning. It's like, all right, this is familiar. But then, after that, started focusing more on the jiu-jitsu side, and still using my wrestling, but also, working guard, trying to develop a full game. And that's where I started training with Scott Miller who runs Evergreen Jiu-Jitsu, who I ended up getting my black belt under, and me and my wife Gigi, she also is a black belt under him. So we trained with him a few different places, started at Catharo and then went over to Factory X when I was a purple belt, which, it's kind of like a rite of passage at purple belt. I feel like you got to kind of branch out to a new place. Hey, sweetie, what's up?
Hello.
I'll come get you. I'll come get you in a minute. All right, you take this. And sorry about that.
All good. I got 3.
So,
one's our producer.
Yeah, for sure. So I went over there, and that was great to branch out. Started learning leg locks a lot more there. Kept training with Scott. Got to train with a bunch of UFC fighters over there, like Brandon Royval and Youssef Zalal, a bunch of really good killers over there. And then Scott opened up his gym in Evergreen. I was training with him, still training at Factory X, bouncing around. And I had talked with my wife about potentially opening a gym years ago, and she was like, well, I don't think, no way we could do this right now. But we re-brought it up, and we were like, actually, I think we're in a good position that if we're going to do it, it's time to give it a go. And that's kind of brought us here.
So you started jiu-jitsu after college. Did you and your wife meet through jiu-jitsu, or did you go to jiu-jitsu together?
No, we met in Breckenridge. We were both living up there, working at the resort, and then moved back to Denver. And we were already married. I started jiu-jitsu, and then she started maybe 6 months after me.
Okay.
So yeah. So if she hadn't started training, for sure, I wouldn't have been able to train as nearly as much as I could. So, and it's such a great part of our relationship as well. I know a lot of people sometimes have a hard time rolling with their significant other without fighting, but we have a good time, and I love training with her, and she's super tough. So.
No, that's amazing. Kind of reminds me of Brand McCatherine and Lindsay McCatherine. I mean, they started jiu-jitsu together. Actually, they started oh man, I forget the art. It was a different striking art first,
Mm-hmm.
And then they both went to jiu-jitsu. And obviously Brandon, there's a little bit of he focuses on things very hard when he's excited, like a lot of us do. And so he's a little bit ahead of her, but I mean, that's amazing. You have that bond between the two of you. But you started after college. And so the word is that you not only college, but you're actually a certified public accountant, a CPA. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a CPA. I've spent 7.5 years doing taxes full-time in public accounting for like private equity funds and venture capital and stuff like that. So it was good, and they gave me money. This is the chief benefit of that. But all the sitting wasn't great, and I just didn't want to keep going down that same trajectory that I was on. But I'm still got a little book of my own clients that I'm building up on the side. It's been so it's definitely useful for me to have with the gym a few different kind of pots going. So I got that. My wife has a wedding photography business, and we have the gym.
Nice.
So kind of a bunch of pies to make all the ends meet.
No, that's smart. Multiple streams of income. That's the smart folks. I just remember Matt Elkins, president of the Twisters, talking one time. Like, he runs Synth Planet Birmingham. Like, I'm gonna have the most money, but I can wear flip flops, to class and for most of my life, and I can just chill out and have a old SUV and be happy, and why mess with that? So I mean, fair to say that you would, if you're on a Zoom call right now, if you're a CPA, like that was your main gig, probably be dressed a little differently.
Post COVID, you'd be surprised how loose things got, but it was. But nothing beats kind of being your own boss, and not having to answer to people on a regular basis.
Was there a just a boiling point, a camel, straw that broke the camel's back point that just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore? Do you have that kind of office
Uh,
space, like burn it all down moment?
yeah, after my daughter was born, I changed jobs and went from like one busy season straight into another. And then it also, I couldn't train as much for like 3 months, like transitioning over. And I was just so depressed. I was like, oh my gosh, this can't be what I'm doing for the next 40 years. So it was really a combination of not being able to train and then working so much. I was like, I need to train. That's my mental illness. So yeah, I was like, gotta make sure I get my mat time, or everyone's unhappy.
No, I completely get it because I tell everyone that jiu-jitsu is a meditation in motion.
Mhm.
It's my mental health cure as well, 100%. If I didn't
Yeah.
have that, I would. Well, I don't want to think what I would do. But again, we mentioned earlier before, but Grapple House is renowned for having a bit of a different culture. So, what is that culture, and how do you cultivate it?
Yeah, so I would say our culture is just very friendly, very family oriented. Me and my wife Gigi train. Our daughter trains in our 4 to 6 year old class. Our 2 year old's always around hanging on the gym. We have a lot of families that are in that. And then also beyond that, just like community based, we try not to like try really hard to not have kind of cliques within the gym where it's like the inner circle of, the people that are there all the time. We want you to feel as welcome if you're there every day, or if you can only make it in once a week, or you can only make it in for an open mat every once in a while. I just want everyone who comes onto the mat to feel like they got something out of it, have a positive experience.
And it seems like Colorado Jiu-Jitsu is all about uplifting people and collegiality and supporting each other. So I guess I would ask, what excites you the most right now about the Colorado Jiu-Jitsu scene?
Yeah, I think like you said, just the kind of interconnectedness between everyone, and it feels, it's definitely more of a like we all can win together mindset rather than we're all competing with each other so much. Because the way I see it, the more we can just grow jujitsu as a whole, get more people involved, we can, there's plenty of people that everyone can be full, and people can have, different choices of what they like. People can find places they fit, and we can help spread, jujitsu all around. So I feel like definitely the last few years with owning a gym, I've been more aware of just like how many different awesome open mats there are and different events where you get people from a lot of different gyms going around and training, and it's yeah, just good vibes.
Well, talking about those good vibes and those open mats that are, again, I think it seems to be like the touchstone of Colorado Jiu-Jitsu is just like the open mat culture. Are there any gyms or people in Colorado scene you think deserve more attention nationally?
I love the Subhounds guys. I know you know those guys. They're just a bunch of dogs and great people as well. So, I love those guys. Obviously, Logos in Denver has great competitors. Everyone I've ever personally met from there has also been super terrifically nice as well. So that's really reflects well on them, I think. Who else? High Altitude has a bunch of dogs coming out of there. Just tough guys, a lot of them. I'm trying to think. I know there's a bunch more that I don't know as well in the Springs, and there's tough people in Fort Collins. So, I'm more Denver centered, but I feel like one thing I've learned, there's tough people everywhere. You just can't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to in July. My family should be finally heading out, leaving California, thank goodness, and head back to Colorado. I'm also very excited about hitting up Connor Hunes, his open mat on Friday nights
Yeah,
with
the
the
Raven
music.
roll.
Yeah, there we go. The Raven Roll,
Yeah.
Wilson Brothers grappling. I don't know if it's Saturday. I think it's Saturdays.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
haven't been able to make it down to those, but I definitely like to. My only problem is I always want to go to people's open mats, but I am teaching a class during that time or
There we go.
something. I need more time to bop around.
So I guess, for those people, because I mean, right now we're going to talk about the PGF in a second, which
Yeah.
is a value proposition for people to actually do jujitsu competitively and make an income. But for the longest time, the biggest path has usually been to be a gym owner. So I guess what's the hardest lesson you've learned as a gym owner?
I feel like just can't take things personally if if there's a miscommunication or somebody leaves and wants to train somewhere else or any of those things. It's like you really just have to have the focus on like I want everyone to have what's best for their specific situation, whether that's training with me or training with someone else. That's good. And then just all the little things that aren't jujitsu, making sure that you're staying up on the marketing and staying up on, I have a little bit of a leg up on being able to keep the books. So that's nice. But, just a million little things that to keep up on that aren't jujitsu related is the harder part. The easier part is, when when class starts and ends, doing that part. So.
Yeah, 100%. I love teaching so much.
Yeah.
I guess now we've gone a little bit negative. Let's bring it back a little positive. What's been the most rewarding part of building the Grapple House?
I feel like just building relationships with people. When you see someone 3, 4, 5 times a week, week after week after week, you just you can't help but get close with them, especially when you have shared interests, you're grappling together and sweating on each other. And with my closest friends is where I'll get the gnarliest on the mat. You cover your mouth, give you a little neck crank, any of those things, which they do the same to me. I'm totally good with it. But it's fun when you have people you train with a lot and you're comfortable with each other. You can try things and yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, I'll just say personally, it's a huge part of my life. Having made it that way, because when you leave the military after 20 years, it's really hard for a lot of people to disassociate that way. Like, because like, who am I now? And so it's been a very value added to add jujitsu and in this community. No matter where I've been, everywhere I've been stationed, people have been very welcoming, and that becomes my network and people that care about me and I care about them. And so I completely feel what you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely it gives you openings. I've trained in places all around the world, and people tend to be the same in most gyms, same kind of people. And if you're there to train, and they're usually down with you, so it's really cool. And it just checks so many boxes. The physical, the mental, the social. Building skills, all those different things, competing if you want. Just so many different ways that you can benefit from jiu-jitsu. So
I guess, having been somebody that's been, got 12 years in or so, what do you think makes someone succeed long-term in jiu-jitsu?
I think you just gotta love it. You get the stereotype of people dropping off after blue, and it's like, yeah, I get that. You're not everyone wants to dive into one thing so deep, or they want to try different things. But I always say jiu-jitsu isn't for everyone. Not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone's going to want to do it, but it could be for anyone. And it's sometimes surprising the people that stick with it, because I know everyone who's trained has somebody in mind who they were like, dang, if this person sticks with it, they're going to be amazing, and then they just disappear and you forget their name. They're gone. Or you see someone who's like, struggles through 2.5 years, 3 years at white belt, sticks with it, keeps going, and then all of a sudden they got a little dangerous game they're putting together, maybe some bottom half guard work, and it's making it work for them. And those are the stories that I like. And
Yeah, that's right, baby. Bomb half guard for all those old guys out there.
The refuge of the old and infirm. That's where I'm at.
I guess along those lines, is there a student story that really sticks with you emotionally? I mean, you've been out there for 2 years. It's enough time to have some feels. Any, obviously you don't have to share the names, but anyone that, a story that inspires you perhaps?
There's a lot of them. There's, you see the people that come in and lose weight and start moving better. You see people that come in maybe without a lot of confidence that start to, start winning some, and you can just see them walking around with like a little bit more of a, chest out a little bit more, or like
Straight
maybe,
back.
you can see maybe it's one of the dads of one of the kids who's kind of, a little disconnected with life, trying to figure out, same boat of like, what am I doing with things right now? And then they get on the mat and you see them start coming alive again. So it's just, all those different things. Yeah.
No, I love it. So actually, that was my sneaky way of doing adult martial arts, post kids, was that I got CJ in Krav Maga in a place that was near our place in Marforez in New Orleans. And luckily, they just happened to have an adult class at the same time.
Mhm.
And so after we, conditioned the wife to accept me, oh, he's leaving the house. He's taking CJ there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, oh, honey, he's over doing that thing. I can't do it. I'm not, it's not twiddling my thumbs. Why don't I just take a class? And so,
Yeah, for sure.
it's definitely getting your kids involved can be a gateway drug, perhaps, or maybe an excuse to let them.
Oh yeah, I'm always working on the dads on the side. Like, yeah, we can stick around after this one and give it a go. So.
There you go. I guess how about a fun thing? What's the favorite post-training food spot in Denver you have? Do you get chow afterwards, or
yeah, we go every Wednesday night to the Mexican place in our shopping center, Los Patroncas.
Okay.
So that's kind of our after training spot, and just walk over there, maybe get a margarita, some tacos. There's also a nice pub place in there, so proximity wins for that one.
There you go. I mean, you're tired, might as well not expend any more energy, and if they got good chow and some drinks.
Oh, yeah.
apparently the GM / producer can confirm that is a good spot. I mean, he might put on the scroller. We have a favorite, like, little Mexican spot that's a little bit more closer to downtown. That's actually attached to a gas station, and it's escaping me right now. But it's like, true, like, old school Mexican. Like, you get some, like, oh, there you go, Garibaldi's.
Oh yeah, I know exactly where that is, off Broadway.
Yeah, exactly.
By Dartmouth.
That's a must. Anytime, either one of us is back in Denver, especially if we're both there, we gotta hit that.
Yeah, there's some good little taco spots around for sure.
Definitely. So I guess, where do you think Grapple House is going to be 5 years from now? I mean, it's kind of a fun question. Like, what's your 5-year plan?
Yeah, so we're just still focusing on growing. We're at about 80 to 85 maybe right now. So I'd like to just stay where we are, keep growing our kids programs, start getting some more coaches involved so we can increase classes, and I'm happy just doing what we're doing, keep our culture going. And we've been we don't do a ton of advertising. Like, most of our stuff comes from word of mouth and more kind of personal connections, and then also the people that just Google jiu-jitsu near me and are nearby. But it's worked well for us in that we've grown a little slower, but our turnover is really small. So I definitely try to focus on taking care of the people that we do have, to keep that culture going. And then I feel like our advertising, I think, is pretty good. I feel like we got good merch. So we just keep on, focusing on good vibes and good training.
Yeah, definitely love the logo, and seems like the vibes are really great. And we mentioned right before we came on that you might just be my gym, because admittedly, like you just said, like, proximity, it has a value all its own.
Yeah, for sure.
After you deal with dropping out, going to work and then coming back, picking up dropping off the kid before you go to work, or two, go to work, come back, pick up the kids, drop them off at sports, come back. It's like
When you're white
anytime you
knuckling
get
it through traffic to training, like, yeah,
exactly
so fun.
100%.
So that's what I always tell people. You got to find something that's convenient for you that you can fit into your life. Can't be too aspirational at first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like, if you just remove the barriers from your willpower, having to like power through, like, oh man, do I have to go across the whole city and like white knuckle it on the road the whole time as I'm frustrated? Like,
No.
I don't, but
which is funny because on the other hand, I was like, yeah, I did that all the time, but I realized not everybody's as weird as me. So
you can, and God bless everyone that can. I don't know. I'm one of those 6 a.m. guys that like gets it in before like before the family can have a vote, before work can have a vote. It's just me and the other dads mostly, and because a couple of crazy like youngsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny that the different training times have kind of different personalities. You like the before work people, the lunchtime people, and then all the nighttime people. It's interesting, the dynamics.
Yeah, definitely. It was funny because, like, when Gio Martinez gave him a brown belt, he's like, "Yeah, if you haven't been at 6 a.m., you probably don't know this guy." You gotta get a full time job. Gotta after work. It's like I said, pick up kids, take them to all the sports, etc. So
yeah.
So I mean, talking about like one thing we kind of mentioned a little bit is like the Colorado Jiu-Jitsu is evolving kind of like this ecosystem. What do you think it would mean if, for Colorado, if we started producing more major grappling events and organizations locally?
I mean, I think that's great. Anything to grow the sport overall. And I love, local events are great to get the gyms involved. I feel like is the real thing. I definitely remember when they first started having the Fight to Win pro events. There was nothing like that at the time. It'd come around maybe once or twice a year and get somebody from your team on it. And you'd be like, get 30 people down together and go cheer them on. So it's always a great environment to have those events close by where the gym people can come out and, make it a whole event of it.
Sure, definitely. Have you been following what the PGF, the Professional Grappling Federation, has been building?
Yeah, I have been. I was having trouble catching a lot of them this year just because I'm always teaching during the broadcast time, but definitely was rewatching it. I'm watching as many clips as I could. I really like the format and, kind of you get to know the people over the season rather than the one-off event format that most grappling does. So definitely cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of the beauties of it, like you said, is that because you have weeks of seeing people, you can actually see the storylines, and if you have a bad day, okay, now what you gonna do? Are you gonna be Wolverine and step up, or what you gonna do? That type of thing. I guess obviously. He'll let a few pass, but like obviously, I am the owner of the Colorado Wolverines, and noted, TJ, noted. I guess what excites you most about the possibility of Colorado having a true professional grappling team identity through the Colorado Wolverines?
I mean, I think it's connects back to what we were saying, where you can have members from different gyms all on the same team. Really just kind of can bring the community together. And then as well, it's cool, grappling is one of those sports where you can still see and interact with the people who are on the like professional level. So, I know it's cool for me to see like Caleb on there who I've trained with and stuff. And like, so I know that's always cool for people when you can have that personal connection to something that you're watching rather than being like, oh, they're over there and I'm over here, which I think is a cool part of grappling. You don't really get in other more developed sports where the professionals are more off in their own space. So
Oh, completely. I'll tell you, being part of the PGF for so many years, I've been dumbstruck with all the people around there, like the legends. I mean, meeting Hoist that like
Yeah.
pretty much made it happen here. Having conversations, a lot of conversations with Eddie Bravo. Because I have a lot of 10th Planet guys, and then I was first raised with 10th Planet, and I am now with the Freaks in the Oceanside.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like you said, like we're still at that point where you can actually go talk to a legend of the sport, and they're just chill.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can go train with them. You can do all kinds of crazy. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I'm excited about, like we talked about, like with Colorado athletes, because like I said, that's one of the things we do. Colorado athletes, we want to support them, gyms, businesses. But right now, we're about to start. I mean, it's crazy. It's already around the corner. We like literally like last month we ended, and we're already talking about next season.
Yeah.
It's wild. So I'll tell you, next season, and if you haven't heard yet,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have 5 different weight classes. We got 145, CJ's clapping for 145. He's been 145 since like in 4th grade. We got 145, 155, 170, 180, 85, and then 205. So that way everyone gets a shot at it. It's gonna be wild. Every we're gonna have 8 teams this season. So we've doubled the teams. It's gonna be wild. We're gonna have two because of that. We're gonna have like 2 actual PGF events a week during the 5 weeks, and then we're gonna have playoffs on the 6th week. And so I guess the question is, with all those different weight classes, 145, 155, 170, 185, and 205, are they like gym legends that about that that you think are gonna be absolute nightmares and are gonna win those qualifiers?
It's hard to say who would. I think for the lighter weights, Rob Parrish from Leverage is one of the best people that I've ever trained with, and makes wearing socks on the mat cool. So you know he's good if he can pull that off. I know a bunch of good guys over from Logos. You got Norm over there. There are a bunch of guys. I'd love to see Anakin on it. He's just such a part of the scene around here. Another really good guy from the Subhounds is this young kid, Levi, really good wrestler. He's been training not too long in jiu-jitsu, but he could do some big things within a few years for sure. He's got some real talent. I'd love to see Monster Matt in it at 205 from 10th Planet Littleton. Such a great guy. Got a real knowledge of jiu-jitsu, great takedowns, great right headlocks. So there's a few people that come to mind. I feel like as far as like gym sleepers, I got to shout out Scotty, my black belt in Evergreen. He's I don't know that he wants to compete anymore, but everyone who's rolled with him knows he's an absolute dog up there. So
all right, so this kind of might be repetitive, but if you were building a dream Colorado lineup for the PGF season, say you're me, give you the cowboy hat, leather jacket, etc. If you were drafting, your preferred team from Colorado, if we went Colorado pure, all right, what you got? At each rank, 145, 155, 170. 185 and then 205. I mean, I think you got Monster Matt at 205.
Monster Matt in there. At 145, there's this guy, Benny out of Logos. Super tough. Benny Raton, I think is his last name. Super tough guy out of there. I'd put Rob from Leverage in at 55. I would just put Anakin in there at 170. At 85, maybe we could do Caleb again, or if you could get Avery from High Altitude as well. Just absolute beast over there. And then, Monster Matt at 205. And then also I would put in Norman from Logos in one of those spots. He's a obviously decorated competitor. You see him at all the stuff around here. So
I'm just surprised because, like, and granted, I'm out of shape and old, so I didn't go against him, but like just meeting
oh
Avery
my god, he's
Kahama,
like a
like
superhero.
185. That dude is
Yeah,
like
what's up?
yoked. He can make 185.
I mean, maybe two of that. Who knows?
I mean,
I remember.
he's
I
probably an
can't
old
remember. I
wrestler.
remember being shocked at the weight he was competing at, though. I was like, "Wow, he can make that weight." So who knows?
So I guess another thing, we're talking about, because this is unfortunately a surprising thing I found. So, for example, like I said before, I'm currently at 10th Planet Oceanside because I'm stationed at Camp Pendleton. I live in Vista Oceanside border. It's right down Oceanside Boulevard. It's great, and it's also a phenomenal school. But I've been like insanely surprised about how little people have followed the PGF, even though, like, for example, season 7, we had the two Kyles, Kyle Bame and
Yeah.
Kyle Chambers, both 10 Planet Freaks, and like the vast minority of students actually like knew what was going on, asked me about it, because like I'm like, dude, I'm a commentator, and I'm your training partner. I guess, do you think Colorado athletes probably would buy into representing a true Colorado team identity? Is that what we need to get people like behind our PGF team?
I think that would be cool. It's always hard to figure out how to market an event effectively. There's so much competition these days, just for entertainment in general. So I think that's just a big question. How do you get that hype building and at the right time, to get people on with it? But I think having those personal connections is helpful. Obviously, more teams, you can bring more people in to see it. And then, I personally think some kind of like format like the pit, they do at CJI, where you have less stops, makes it much more interesting. I feel like that's one of the toughest things with professional grappling events. You'll be on like a raised platform, which I feel like is the toughest, because you go flying off the edge. Or
Yep.
so and even a cage isn't as great because it really changes a lot of the dynamics. You can get stuck up against it. It can be hard, but so I think just keep trying different things to keep it exciting for people who aren't personally invested, because I feel like there's kind of two groups of people that are watching: people that train and are personally invested and maybe know people and stuff, and then how do you bring in more casual people, based off maybe just the product rather than their own affiliation with it.
No, completely agree. And the pit, or I forget what it was called in CJI. I was at the first one. I got lucky. I won some tickets. But it was funny because of that raised surface on the side. The quote unquote VIP seats were actually some of the worst seats around, because you're like on that level and you couldn't really see in to what was going on. I was on the next level, which was just about right, because I had that. And it's tough. So I mean, I get it. So we kind of have the human splash zone. That's kind of our thing. It was actually kind of a fun, first experience going from commentator, on the big table, to like being on a couch. Like the first time somebody ran into me, I'm like, yes, I'm in the splash zone.
Yeah.
So I get it. We're trying, but I think I can't say where we're going to be next season, but it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a big upgrade. I'll tell you behind the scenes after we finish up. But I completely get you. I mean, the PGF's all been about non-PGF competitors enjoying it, because like 6-minute matches makes a fast pace.
Yeah.
sub only as far as like getting points. So like who actually won. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what the hell an advantage is. What is that crap? I mean, who knows? Let alone try to explain that to somebody that doesn't do jiu-jitsu at all. So yeah, I mean, it's all about it. Like the shot clock to make sure there's actual like progression. I mean, it's all about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are all. Yeah, those things are all great because you just see you see issues across events, and it's hard to figure out how to fix everything, and then you make one rule or whatever, people figure out how to game it, and you're like, I didn't think people would do that. Like, what's going on? So no, I definitely like where everything's going, and you see it in more developed sports like wrestling or judo, where they've got pretty strict criteria forcing the engagement, so which it seems like that's where jiu-jitsu is trending as well, more towards that, more forcing engagement.
Yeah, I mean the PGF is all about the action, having it be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, just the I think we were the first like promotion that actually had a camera on a gimbal, walking around so you could actually see what was going on, as opposed to like some of those promotions that had like, hey, I'm watching two guys' butts for like 5 minutes. Thanks, guys. That's amazing. No, it's amazing. It just means you're loved. And cherish that, man, because like at some point they're gonna stop asking you to pick them up, and it's gonna be heartbreaking when you realize that you missed the last time they did it.
Our daughter is 5, and she had her 5th birthday the other day. Oh my gosh, it's been 5 years. I can't even believe it. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, I remember holding a little guy like a football around Boston. I was in law school. Telling the drivers of the T like backdoor carriage, taking a Boston Common all around, and now he's bigger than me and producing our podcast. So, it goes like that, man. Oh, there we go. That's amazing. It's now I just gotta look forward to grandchildren. Not anytime soon, CJ. Not anytime soon. A few years, but I look forward in the future. Pardon the little detour, guys. Sorry about that. But I guess a few closing things. I mean, I guess one, obviously that you're a small business owner. You opened the Grapple House. You come from a great background with your accounting background. I am. I've just been a Marine for 20 years, and I'm a lawyer for the Marine Corps, so a judge advocate, but I haven't had to be entrepreneurial for a long time. Do you have any recommendations for the Wolverines as an organization, as a team? And what would you tell me? I'm I'll do it publicly. Hey man, you got any advice? I'm trying to make everyone love us, and try and give opportunities for people. Is there anything that you would say that I should just keep in mind or try, or I don't know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's about, at least in my opinion, it's about building the relationships, and then how can you create value for people? Which I think it's on a good track doing that. So I think kind of continue, and then it's also everything takes time. I feel like I always tell people when they ask me how the gym's going, I'm like, you want it to go like this, but it goes more like this. So, got a kind of big picture, are you trending in the right direction? And then kind of back out from there to figure out what the day-to-day things you can do. So, and then, you say you're in the Marines for 20 years, so you know how to, prioritize and get it done, which I feel like is, most of the thing.
Hey, we'll make it happen, and all about relationships, 100%. I'm not, like you said, I'm not trying to hit home runs. I'm just trying to hit a bunch of singles and slowly build this thing and get people on board, and again, kind of like give value add in that I want to give, like I said, the touchstone is I want to give an opportunity to spotlight our athletes, our gyms, and our businesses. And so, give a, so Colorado grapplers don't have to go to Austin, to San Diego, to freaking somewhere else. They can actually be just in Colorado, and we can give them an outlet to like show, like, you know what, we got some stuff too. So
Yeah, sure.
that's definitely something I really want to do with this. But also with your endeavor, because like you have a vision. Years from now, what do you think, or what do you hope that people say about Grapple House?
Just that we cared about people, and it was a place where people felt accepted and and safe to come try jujitsu and be themselves. That's mostly what we're trying to strive to do. Just have a place where people feel comfortable to come and they want to be there, have a good time, and train hard. So.
No, brother, you're talking about language, man. I mean, hopefully, because I got to stay somewhat close to Dakota Ridge and Mullen, because I got a kid going to both schools.
Yeah.
Sounds about right to be around you, and that's exactly what I love about jiu-jitsu, is the community, and obviously, because I'm at 10th Planet Oceanside, which is right by Camp Pendleton, and so I can't exactly say my name because like people might figure out who I am actually. Like it's like, hey, oh look, there's the military judge, the lieutenant colonel. No, it's just Egghead. I'm the goofy guy that's giggling as I grapple, and I'm doing cartwheels and all kinds of goofy stuff, because you can actually be yourself in jiu-jitsu, and so that's
it's fun. You get a big cross section of ages and occupations and socioeconomic, all that you normally wouldn't get in a lot of different environments, so.
No, it really cool. So I guess maybe a couple of last questions. What are you most grateful for right now?
Just my family and the opportunity to have this gym. I feel very blessed to even be in the position I am, to be able to give it a chance to start a gym. So, and just thankful for other people that choose to train with us. There's a lot of options around. So I'm really happy with the people that are with us, the people that chose to train with us. So, yeah.
Outstanding. So what have I not asked you that I should have? What should be put out there for the people out there?
Sunday afternoons, 2 p.m., no-gi open mat. Open to everyone if you're cool. And by that, I mean not a jerk. So, it's easy to be cool. Just be nice and, come train with us. Yeah, that's about it.
No, I love it. That Sunday open mat is multiple people have told me about it. It's phenomenal. It's great. And again, that open mat culture of Colorado, that's like something that just like warms my heart. I'm really excited to get back home and to experience it. It's kind of funny because
it's super cool. It definitely wasn't that way when I was starting out. I think it's I don't know, it feels like kind of maybe post-COVID when everything opened back up. It's just like people were more down with training, cross training, and doing all that stuff, which I love it. I'm all for it. So
just happy to be alive and in business, and like, hey man, we all made it. Let's keep this thing that we love going. And that's so funny because like, I mean, COVID's why I got involved with the PGF, because like all North Carolina was closed down. We had orders in the Marine Corps. We couldn't train. And the lifeline I had was the PGF. That was that Brandon started, and it was every Friday night. And so it's like the little bit of methadone, being in the chat was like kind of like the family, the community I missed from training. It meant a lot. So I love everything with it. So pardon me, just because somebody's got in here a little bit late. I'll just catch up real quick. Dr. Jiu-Jitsu, I tried to go live with the Philly Phenoms. They were using a different platform than when we were, and we didn't op check it, which is always a mistake. Always op check your technology. And so it did not work. Imagine that. And so we will recock and figure that out later. As far as the multiple weight classes, you are correct, sir. There's 145, 155, 170, 185, and 205. As far as playoffs, that remains to be seen. I mean, I am an owner, so I'm privy to the owners' meetings and chat and stuff. There's some different ideas out there. Hypothetically, you could either have like a bunch of like small brackets for each weight class, or you could do an absolute. And so that's just throwing out hypos out there. And the question, I guess, yeah, Boris, what do you think? So if we have, so each team, I can say this at least. This is I'm allowed, not double secret probation. I'm allowed to say this. 8 teams. Each team will have the main roster from like representing all of those guys. So if we had the option of either doing the top half of each weight class ends up in like a 4-person bracket for individual playoffs, or if we had just the top 16, so the top half, if you will, of all the weight classes, whoever scored the most points, if they could do an absolute, which do you think would be more entertaining? And chat, feel free, Dr. Jitsu, to weigh in here as well. Sorry, man.
Sorry, I just got a little tickle.
I got it. I get allergies all the time. Hopefully, it's supposed to be better in Denver. I'm looking forward to it.
So I think it would be cool, maybe do a playoff for each weight class, and then maybe each team sends a wild card for an absolute bracket or something.
Ooh, a third option. Okay, so like each weight class is the top 4, then we have the top 8 absolute. Okay, CJ, write that down. We're gonna have to talk about that next Tuesday. No, Dr. Jiu-Jitsu, if we're gonna do an absolute, it's gonna be an absolute. And the fun thing there is like, you know what? And here's the thing, like traditionally, the lower weights score more points. And so there might be a lot more lower weight guys than 205ers in there. I mean, granted, like in season 7, like Ryan Aiken ran away with it. Like, he got like 58 points. But after him and Michulovic, there's a big gap. So anyway, Boris, I've kept you. I've now made you start, getting allergies and tickles, etc. I guess I would ask, we'll ask you to stay around in the back for a little bit, but like, you shout out your gym, your socials, whatever you'd like to shout out to folks right
now. Yeah, we are Grapple House Littleton. Our Instagram is _Grapple House. We're really active on there. So those are our 2 main ones.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm really pumped. Thank you for sharing this hour with us. I love hearing about your story. I'm jealous of you and your wife both being black belts and both having your own gym. Those are like life goals. I got to be in the coal mines, being an attorney for a few more years to get the kids through college, I think, before I can do that. We've had that like lifestyle creep that I gotta keep paying for. But hey, I'll train under you and learn the business and some jiu-jitsu, and hopefully join you someday. Actually, I'm probably not, because I mean, I'm gonna be the owner of the Colorado Wolverines until I die. I'm like Charlton Heston, man. I'm like, for my cold dead hands. And even though some other owners have said like, hey, having Egghead Jiu-Jitsu would be kind of a cool gym name. Like, no, because if I have my own gym, I can't be of all gyms. And that's kind of like what the Wolverines is really hoping to be, is like, we really hope to be an opportunity for all gyms to come together and, for your students to have something to aspire to, that they can be a part of a professional grappling federation team that represents their state. And that's, that means a lot to me. So, yeah, that's what I'll do. Obviously.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It was great talking to you. And I'm excited to see what happens with this next season.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you involved. And like I said, just tell your students, looking at late July, maybe early August, if we have had some hiccups with finding the right spot. But we're going to try to focus on trying to get at least 4 different qualifiers. And so each one of the qualifiers will be able to qualify 5 people, one for each weight class.
Cool.
So we can really build the bench of Colorado athletes
Yeah.
that are eligible for the draft. Doesn't mean they're going to make the teams, but they're
Yeah.
at least going to be in contention. And my goal and my intention is to give them the full PGF treatment as far as the qualifiers, so they get great video, and obviously the folks to the rise to the top have some storyline behind them, so we
Yeah.
can market them. So even heaven forbid that we can't draft them, I'd still love for more Colorado athletes to be on different teams, whether it be, Lauren and I were supposed to go online, earlier. She's like a little sister to me. Lauren Braun from the Philly Phenoms. I mean, Lloyd Weidman from St. Louis. Super excited for them and all the owners. I mean, I think we all really, I think, kind of like the jiu-jitsu gyms in Colorado, we've all realized that all the PGF teams, we're going to talk a little bit of smack.
Mhm.
Maybe Lauren and I talk a little bit more because we like having that fun. But we all realize that, we all lift each other up, and it's all about winning together.
Yeah.
But Boris, again, thank you for the time. Sit back. We'll talk a minute. I'll give you some behind the scenes, like a little bit of like double secret stuff if you want.
Yeah.
And I'll wrap this up. So thank you very much, Boris.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So, man, Dr. Jiu-Jitsu, where you been, brother? I mean, this has been great earlier, but that's fine. I'll still answer it. How's the talent looking for season 10? You wouldn't believe, brother, the people I'm talking to and the people other people are talking to. No names. I'm not gonna give any names, but that's right. What else we got? Is there gonna be a draft day? Actually, that's a great question. So I will just say yes. Look for a draft in February. Allegedly. Perhaps. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, very well. Well, hey, Dr. Jiu-Jitsu, thank you very much for your time, man. I mean, it's great to have somebody to talk to, some questions, little prompts, stuff like that. Again, all I can say is that we're going to keep it going. Last week we had the Sub Hounds on here. Great guys. I'm very happy we have Boris today. Oh, pardon me. And so we got Cody from High Altitude Martial Arts, the Hama, coming on. I think we're gonna switch this to Sundays, guys. Just a little heads up. We're gonna be going to Sundays. It seems like it's a little bit easier for people. Friday's gonna mess people up, so we're gonna go Sundays. And if we go Sundays, we might have another co-host coming back. Or, well, he's been on the podcast before, but he's gonna be co-host now. So look for a little Donald Rosedow to come on here and help us out. But if you're a grappler in Colorado, you can be part of the Colorado Wolverines. And even if you're not on our team, you can be part of the PGF. So like I said, every tournament we run before the season is a qualifier. I just had that cleared this last week, and so you heard it here first. I'm going to start running as many as I can. I think I can do 4. We're working on like securing a spot, doing it all right. We want you to have an amazing experience. I wanted to make it fun for everyone. I'm pulling the curtain back a little bit. July might be a little quick for us. I don't know. We might have to de-scope it and just do a qualifier. But after that, and maybe even in July, I want to have a tournament where we have, all the future Wolverines, the kids have a chance to get out there. Because, I mean, man, if you saw Violet Goodnight, our PGF princess, that was the cutest thing you've ever seen. If you haven't seen that at all, go to PGF World on YouTube and check out the playoffs, because that warmed everyone's heart. And she's a rock star. And I've talked a little bit to her family. We're gonna see about bringing her out like a celebrity, maybe sign some autographs. So it's, or maybe she'll just compete and win some more belts, prizes, etc. Other things, just throw it out there. Everyone, every week, well, I eventually settled on that the guy that got the most points per season per week would get a special engraved K-bar, because Hoorah Marine Corps. And obviously it's kind of a special thing, to the warrior ethos, etc. And so I'm thinking that the expert divisions for men's and ladies might just begin engraved K-bar, and for the kids, obviously we're not going to give them large knives. I mean, if you train them that way, I'm okay with you giving them large knives. I'm not going to, because I don't want that liability. We'll give them some really cool stuff. But honestly, I want this to be an amazing experience for everyone. And if you have any ideas, feel free to reach out to us on the socials. Colorado Wolverines, basically anywhere. Instagram is probably the easiest way to get a hold of us. Give us ideas. If you have venues you think we should use that you think would be amazing for a lot of people, let us know. It's better when we all work together. We've learned that, I think, like we talked about today. But all right, I'm just meandering now. Right now, I just got to end it up. So saying hey, we can't all have 20-pound brains, but I'm going to do what I can to help you out with that. And see you next week.